What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fuzzy Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So the first ever Pittsburgh Pro, specifically for the men's open bodybuilding, that 100% lived up to the hype, despite Goodvito dropping out of this show just 2 days out. So the finals for the men's open bodybuilding are on. And contrary to what many people think, that Nick Walker cleaned house, that kind of seems like a very close call between those top two tonight. So a total of 3 comparison rounds, they were done between Nick and Derek for the first ever Pittsburgh Pro title. And I must say Derek came back very strong for the finals tonight. Now, Nick Walker 100% wins the most muscular shot. And I'm gonna say the abs and thigh as well, because those abs on Nick, they are rock hard, so separated. And his V-taper, I must say, is also looking very awesome. And these two were the biggest strength for Nick. And we all had Nick winning those shots against Derek Lunsford. Now those side shots, they are very close. In fact, do not be surprised at all if you hear that Derek won both the side chest and the side tricep against Nick. And for some reason, many of us out there are kind of ignoring the aesthetics aspect, which we all know has been a very crucial factor in the past few shows, especially in the men's open. And I must say, just take a look at that flow of Derek in the front double versus the mutant, and this would be way more impressive in person. So Derek was also hitting the front lat spread a lot better at the finals here tonight. So the angles at which all of these pictures are taken, they kind of cloud our judgment, because these pictures posted by RX Muscle, they clearly show Derek Lunsford winning majority of the shots. So this is gonna be a very close one, that is for sure. It simply isn't a slam dunk. So if we break it down, Nick has overall more leg size in the hamstrings and the overall thickness. But Derek, on the flip side, he has better aesthetics, better shape, better flow. But Nick had some outrageous body parts, like his arms and his chest. Now Derek still lacks some detail in his chest and the delts, compared to a guy like the Mutant. So this, in my opinion, is gonna be a coin toss. But the judges 100% made them work tonight. And that is what the bodybuilding is all about. Bringing your all-time best, and the show going down to the wire. So this was such a treat for all the fans who were there in attendance to watch this live. So another big question in regards to this year's Pittsburgh Pro is that, who is gonna land in 3rd place? Is it gonna be William Bonac or Martin-Fitzwater? Because Martin coming in way off, that gave Bonac a great opportunity to advance and push Martin outside of that top 3. So I do not really think that Bonac gets enough credit for his longevity and the way this guy has been improving so much, even at this stage of his career. And from the time he came back last year, he has improved so much from one show to the next one. And this guy is 42 years old and still making improvements show after show. It's so unbelievable how massive his legs looked here in Pittsburgh, even standing next to a guy like Martin. So this looks to be another close fight. So the judges might penalize Martin here, so that he cares less about how big he's gonna be for whatever show he does next, rather than just focusing on the look. Because this was just a bad peak by Martin, and I'm gonna say his coach Stefan. Whatever went wrong, or whatever the game plan was, that simply did not pay off. So that most muscular shot comparison between the top 2, hosted by different people from different angle, that kind of shows us that Nick absolutely smoked Derek in that one particular shot. Now Nick must be congratulated here, and he must be given the credit. What a mind-blowing performance by him after 2 years off from that Miss Olympia stage. So Josema Beast and Terrence Ruffin, they really gave us another great show tonight during the finals. Look at that back double biceps on Josema Beast. So he's standing farther away from the camera, and yet still looking so big compared to Terrence. So this is such a great fight put up by Josema Beast one more time at the finals. Now most of us have Terrence Ruffin winning this show on the basis of a more classic shape. Now Josema does look to be in a better condition than Terrence, especially in certain areas, and the man came in dry as a bone. One of the best in the world, especially in terms of the conditioning. So after tonight, Jose Manuel will solidify himself as one of the best in the world in classic physique and a legitimate top 6 Olympia contender. And we have to keep in mind, this guy is just 23 years old. Just let that sink in. So we witnessed one of the most awesome classic battle tonight. So do let me know what you guys think. Which one of these guys in your opinion is gonna come out on top? Now let's talk about the men's physique. So as predicted after the prejudging, Erin Banks won this show and very convincingly. He was never moved from the center stage. But are we all even a little bit shocked that the 3 times Olympia champion, Brandon Hendrickson, he winds up not even in the top 3. Yes, he was 4th. Now, I'm gonna say not at all surprised, as per the callouts at the prejudging. So this was literally a nightmare for Brandon Hendrickson, because the worst possible scenario, which Brandon and his team could have imagined, that actually came true. I'm gonna say it was even worse than that, because they would have thought, at the very least, he's gonna be 2nd, and the man ended up in 4th. Now, this was a great version of Brandon, so a huge shout out to Erin Banks, and good luck to Brandon, as he plans on doing the New York Pro as well, which is happening next weekend. So the Classic Physique results have just been announced, as I was compiling this video. So Terrence Ruffin wins the Pittsburgh Pro and qualifies for the Olympia this year. So this was his comeback show, after more than 1.5 years. Now I do think that this was the right call. But that being said, do you guys think Terrence is in contention to beat a guy like Mike Sommerfeld and win that Classic Physique Olympia title this year? So there is something totally unprecedented that just happened in the world of bodybuilding tonight. Even after that confirmation round, the judges had to call the top 2, Nick and Derek, one more time on the stage because the scores were tied. And there was like a sudden death situation. And I think that was the most exciting part of the evening tonight. The judges even asked Derek and Nick to exchange elbows at the end, which is also unprecedented in the entire bodybuilding history. So what an awesome show. No matter who wins it tonight, both these guys, they must be congratulated and appreciated here, because they brought the house down, and they brought the crowd and also the judges on their feet.
What a show. What do you say, folks? Who's going to win it? Elbows, everything, go! Nick's going to throw him off the stage in a second. That was awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, backstage!
So just as I was compiling this video, the results of the men's open bodybuilding are now out. And Derek Lunsford just made history by becoming the first ever Pittsburgh Pro champion. Now I know, this is a decision that many people out there simply would not like. But like I was saying at the start of this video, that Derek came back so much better for the finals. And especially at the tiebreaker, he was looking a lot more polished. The judges gave this to Derek. But I must say it was a very close show. And had Nick Fokker won, no one would have complained. So a huge congratulations to Nick for pushing a former Miss Olympia. I'm gonna say even harder than Samson Dauda did for the honor of Ohio. And he placed 2nd here. So Martin came in 3rd, William Bonac in 4th, and Michael Krizo in 5th. So that's it for tonight, folks. So I will do a complete breakdown of this show tomorrow. And we will discuss this decision in the upcoming video. So what did you guys think about the results? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.